kind of fear that you have, that'll actually hold you back in life. Instead of taking miniature steps to get to your goal, you're going to start taking no steps to get to your goal. Now you're blaming your granddad because you couldn't achieve your goal. I look back on myself and I see all the things that I've done, and it's like, man, like if I would not have had that fear, I could have achieved some even grander goals. Fear has kept more humans held back than anything else in life. Good evening, and welcome to another episode of the Mindset Master Podcast. I'm your host, Tony Reed, and I'm also the proprietor of the podcast. Now, in today's episode, we're going to be talking about don't wait until you're too old to start living out your dreams. Now, if you want to learn more about this topic, stay tuned to the end of this episode. Now, before I share with you the 5 things that you need to start doing today to start living your life to the fullest, I would like to share a story with you about one of my previous clients who he's passed away now, but his story, I want to use that to inspire you to get your life started now. And we're going to be calling my customer Mr. Johnson for the sake of privacy here. So, Mr. Johnson and my grandfather used to be really good friends, and so me and Mr. Johnson's son became really good friends. I would always hear Mr. Johnson talking about how once his son graduates high school, he's going to start living life, start going on cruises, start going to like Mexico trips, stuff like that. Once Mr. Johnson's son graduated from high school, he goes out and get this young lady pregnant. So Mr. Johnson, he started taking care of his grandson. Mr. Johnson, now his excuse before he can start living his life was that he had to wait until his grandson got out of high school. Then he would start living his life. Mr. Johnson wound up passing away 1 week before his Cozumel trip. His son was devastated. His grandson was even more devastated because his grandson felt like he slowed his granddaddy down from living life. I just wanted to share that example with you right there before we get going on this episode here. Never wait until it's too late. Don't let anything, anyone, or anybody hold you back. Even if you're taking care of your kids or your grandkids or foster children or whatever it is that you're doing, never put yourself all the way on the back burner. Now, sometimes it's not wrong with, doing things for other people and you maybe not do nothing for yourself sometimes, but all the time, that's a recipe for disaster right there. And that builds passively aggressive human beings right there. Every human being deserves to have a fulfilled life. Let me get into what you came to the episode for. Now, the first thing that I recommend that you need to do when you want to start living your dream today and not waiting is to set a clear, actionable goal. Now, a clear, actionable goal is something that is tangible, something that you can actually touch and that you can actually put your mind and all your heart to. Let's just use Mr. Johnson's example. Mr. Johnson wanted to go out to Cozumel. So if you want to go to Cozumel, you need to have your brain locked on Cozumel. You need to start cutting out like brochures for Cozumel, start printing out literature about Cozumel. So that way you can start seeing that every single day around your home or on your refrigerator, things like that that's clearly visible to you. See, when you do things like that, that's going to make your life and your goals actually happen because you're saying to the universe and to the higher powers that be that you actually do want the thing that you are saying that you want. Because a lot of people, they want things, but they don't want to do the work and do the action that's needed to get the things that they want to get and need in life. And then they wonder why, and then they blame other people for when they don't achieve their goals or don't do the things the right way that they know that they need to do in life. And it's always to be somebody else's fault. The second thing that I recommend that you do is take small steps. See, if you try to take big, long strides when you're trying to achieve that particular Cozumel goal, a whole lot of times you will get discouraged, you might get burned out, and you might be like, man, you know what? I don't really want to go on this trip anyway. See, the thing is, you really want to go on this trip, but you had big steps in mind versus taking like little small like baby steps. You had big giraffe steps when you need to be taking mouse steps. A lot of humans, when they want to achieve something, they want it all right now. They want to sit back, have their ball thrown to them, and they hit a home run and knock it out the park. You got to start small. You got to start your steps small. Have a big grand goal like going to Cozumel, but you got to have small baby steps to get you going. Break it down to the lowest common denominator when you want to start achieving things in life. So with the Cozumel thing, we know you need a passport and we know you need a few $1,000s set to the side so that way you can have a good time. Because if you want to start living life now, You can't try to be frugal. You can't try to, be doing everything on a budget. That's not living. Honestly, I'm sorry. That's not living. Me and my wife, we tried that. That didn't work for us. And that's the reason why I'm telling you, always do things that's right for you. But when you do things right for you, when you take a small step, that's going to help put that anchor down. That's going to put that footing down for you to step on comfortably and move on to the next level. Because if you don't have a good rock down, you don't have a good footing, a good foundation down, and then once you take that step, it's going to feel like you're stepping into quicksand. And then when it feels like you're stepping into quicksand, you're going to get discouraged, you're going to get burned out, and you're going to get demotivated to do anything. Then you're going to be like, man, you know what? That was a silly idea anyway. Why would I want to go out of the country? See, don't take big steps until you have mastered the small steps. Because see, we don't want to get you discouraged, thrown off, and make you not achieve that big grand goal that you want to achieve. So always take small steps, set big goals, but take small steps to get to that big goal. The third thing is going to be overcome any kind of fear that you may be going through. Any kind of fear that you have, that actually holds you back in life. If you have fear in your heart, you're not going to be fearless. You're going to be fearful. And then when you're fearful, instead of taking miniature steps to get to your goal, you're going to start taking no steps to get to your goal. See, when you got fear basking and baking inside of your brain, that's a terrible thing, because that builds up resistance in your head. And then when you have resistance in your head, you start building up all these false, fake, fictitious enemies that are slowing you down from achieving your goal. You might try to start blaming your family because your granddad didn't let you borrow $300 or didn't let you borrow his Jeep Grand Cherokee to go do this. Now you're blaming your granddad because you couldn't achieve your goal. If you have fear in you, fear is going to keep you stagnant. Fear is going to keep you grounded, just like my camera is right here. It's going to keep you grounded to the actual ground. It's going to be an anchor that's going to bolt you down. And that fear will never ever let you go. That fear is going to keep you down in the water, just like Jason on Friday the 13th. It's going to keep always plunging you down and pushing you deeper and deeper and deeper into the abyss. And then now you don't even want to do anything in life anymore. You just letting your life spin around out of control, and then you are wondering why you're getting the results that you're getting. So take any kind of fear out of the equation. I used to live in fear when I was younger. I used to fear everything. I was just a different person when I was, in my early 20s and like teens. But now I am 40 years old. I look back on myself and I see all the things that I've done. And it's like, man, like if I would not have had that fear, I could have achieved some even grander goals. Because I try to typically achieve my goals. Like I said, I always set, big goals, take small steps, don't have any kind of fear. Because with that fear has kept more humans held back than anything else in life. Fear keeps you held back more than you not even knowing how to do something. If you want to do something, go ahead and go do it. Don't be fearful. Yeah, it might be a little scary. Yeah, something might happen to you that might kind of throw you off the kilter a little bit. But the thing is to pick yourself back up, just like a football player. You're going to get tackled, pow. But then as soon as you get tackled, you need to pop back up. If something fearful is in your heart and it knocks you down, pop yourself right back up and know that you can overcome any kind of fear. And just remember, fear stands for false evidence appearing real. If you like this episode today thus far, please press that like and subscribe button for me. The fourth thing that I recommend that you do when you want to start living your dreams today and not waiting too long, it's going to be to live in the moment. See, a lot of us like to live in the past and think about the things we did back in 1996. We can't look back at the past. We only need to look at present and the future. And see, you have to live in the moment when you're trying to achieve your goals. Take time to reflect on your accomplishments. Take yourself out to a game room. Do something nice for yourself and show yourself appreciation for all of your hard work that you've been doing. Because if you're doing hard work, like you're saving money every single week, you're not going out and hanging out with friends, you're doing all of this stuff to achieve your goal, at least one time, do something to make yourself happy. If you don't do things now and if you don't live in the moment now, you're going to become passively aggressive then you're going to be thinking, man, what was all this work that I've been doing for? And see, that's going to be the best way to like kind of take a break from you achieving that goal, but you are still in pursuit of achieving that goal. You just took a little 1-day break off just to relax and to relieve your brain. The last thing that I recommend that you do, which is number 5, is going to be seek support. If you hanging around people who don't want goals, who don't have dreams and stuff like that, you don't need to be hanging around those good people. And sometimes that could be cutting family loose. I've had to do it. You know, I've had to cut some of my family members loose because we didn't necessarily want the same thing. They're still my blood, they're still my kin people, but we sometimes have kind of, came disassociated because we want different things out of life. And I'm not going to let anybody pull me down, and that's what I'm saying for you. Never let nobody pull you down, not family, not friends, not anybody like that. So it's best to seek a supportive system. Sometimes you may have to go directly outside of your immediate circle. You might got to go to Toastmasters, or you might go to one of them meetup groups, or you might got to go on like a Facebook group and try to hook up with people and stuff like that. See, if you hanging around people who don't want goals, they don't have dreams and stuff like that, kind of just start like easing away from them like slowly. And then they'll get the point. They'll be like, man, you know what? This person is easing away from me. See, people get the hint. And see, if you keep letting people who are like leeches and who are not supportive hang around you, they're going to suck all of the energy and all of the life out of your goals and dreams because they haven't been able to achieve their goals and dreams. For example, that's just like when me and my wife had bought our house. We had all kind of people telling us that was the worst thing that we can do was to go buy a house. Oh man, y'all need to get an apartment. Y'all need to go do this. Y'all need to go do that. I'm thinking to myself, why would I listen to these good people when they don't have goals? They don't have any dreams to aspire to. I want better for myself, my wife, my family, my dogs, my cat. I want the best for everybody in the whole universe. But the thing is, you have to want the absolute best. And when you want the absolute best, you have to hang around the absolute best people. Stop seeking validation from other people. Life is too short to be living life for somebody else. Life is perfect when you live life for yourself. And that about wraps it up for today's episode. Until next time, I'll catch you later.